Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another episode of The Reserve List, a part of our series of Race to the Battle of the Bands. Say hello, everybody!
Hello.
I
We have switched over to Google Hangouts for this episode, but we'll be back to using Zoom next time, so if the quality of the video is not quite as good, hang with us until then. When last we left off, you guys were in the town of Rithertell. You guys had discovered that Glog, who is the owner of the Mugshot Tavern, his wife had been kidnapped by these men in iron masks who came into Isabyn's room and threatened her and got all of your money, which was not good. You guys confronted Glog. He said his son has been out there. Orin has been out there trying to find his wife and doesn't know anything about what's going on. These men kidnapped his wife and were threatening him. So we did all kinds of stuff, like let them into Isabyn's room and drug Tombar, Jollysnorkle, and that's no good. In the morning, you guys heard the sounds of barking and saw the blink dogs out there, and Gwen used her ability to talk in Sylvan, this Fey language, which is connected to this particular kind of magic that these dogs have that allow them to blink around, and made friends with them. Their names were, hold on, Rima, Prima, Nile, and Sand. And they were looking for their pups who have been stolen again by these men in the iron masks. And that's where we are now. You guys have just made friends with these blink dogs. It's the morning. Glog made himself his midnight snack, presumably, and is somewhere inside. And that's it. I pass it over to you guys. What would you like to do from here?
So, Glog making himself a midnight snack.
Well, he made himself a midnight snack when you guys interrupted him, these guys.
Yeah, no, because we started questioning him, didn't we?
You unfortunately were drugged up and asleep, but the others, Gnurgle especially, created a bunch of magical effects all around him and absolutely terrified him into telling you everything that he knew.
Okay, so he's interrogated. I've woken up. I've come down. So first of all, I need to know what's gone on and what are we planning to do about this?
think we've already got that. We were out in the streets and we encountered the dogs, didn't we? You were knocking on doors and stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the dogs said that their pups were being taken by the men in the iron masks, and that's where her name that I remember.
Jorana.
Thank you.
No worries.
That's where she was taken by them as well, according to Glog. And their son is out looking for her, and he may be helpful, potentially. He's under the impression that, he believes Glog's story that Glog has been telling. But maybe useful to seek him out, or we go in after these people. I have my theories on what these people might be, but I don't know for sure.
So, do we have reason to believe the men with the iron masks done this?
Yeah, that's what the blink dog said.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, sorry. I'm a bit slow.
No, it's all good.
It was all good.
I figured if I created a character that has the same intellect as me, it'll make things easier.
So far,
Did,
it's been great.
Is it the morning now?
It's the
Is it
morning.
morning now?
Yeah. Sorry, Gnurgle.
Didn't the Blink Dogs? They knew roughly where their son was, didn't they?
They know where.
They said that he was in his.
Yeah, they'll be able to find Orin for sure.
Ace. All right. You know, as long as everybody else is in agreement, I think we should follow the lead with the Blink Dogs and try and find Orin. That'll be amazing, I reckon, as a starting point.
Sounds
And
good.
very well done, Alberta, for making friends with these hoons. That was
Well, thank you.
top woofing.
Yeah. That's like called something different in some communities. Means something different. I will tell the Blink Dogs before my speak with animals is up that I will be able to talk to them, but I won't be able to know what they're saying to me once that time runs out, I believe, because I think they can understand it, but they can't speak it.
That's correct. So, yeah, their barking will go back to sounding like barking.
Yeah.
After the spell ends, they let you know that they understand the way that magic works. But they're like, we'll lead you to Orin and then sort of help as we can, but follow your lead from there.
Bless them.
Fantastic. So you guys don't even have to make a survival, nature, or investigate any of those kind of checks. All you have to do is follow these Blink Dogs who run ahead and then wait for you to catch up. And but they do go out of town and directly to the nearby. And directly into the nearby woods. So, again, Rithertell is sort of on the edge of the Waenwood, which is this large forest that's sort of... I say large. It's large by Garandian standards, but Garandia is mostly flat plains and hills, compared to entire nations that are covered in forests like Thorogrove. It's nice. This is a tiny little wood.
Just a little woods, baby woods.
Little baby woods. But it's definitely massive enough that it takes a while to like. The town itself is small in comparison to the width and breadth of these woods in the north. So there's plenty of room to get lost in here, and even as you start to go in, you can almost immediately tell, without these dogs showing you where to go, this place has something minor of the Fae about it. It's it would be quite easy to find yourself turned around in these forests.
Just a bit creepy.
It's not necessarily creepy. It's almost like playful.
Right. So it's a bit like funky, you know.
Tricksy dreamy.
Trixie dreamy.
Tricksy dreamy.
Like, yeah, you like how
Do we have like moving flowers that like follow us?
You don't
and
have
like
flowers
things
to follow you.
shift in response to our movement in ways they shouldn't normally.
You don't see anything like moving as though, like plant life moving as though it's alive, but there are times when you walk past a certain area and then you look back and you swear it looks different than it should. There are times when you look back and the footprints that you've left have disappeared. Stuff like that.
Can I have a request, please, Josh?
Go ahead.
Can Gnurgle keep an eye out for any particular, can he keep an eye out for funguses on his way through the woods and collect as he goes? And I'll let you decide what the effects are, if there are any.
Oh, this is a wonderful invitation that you've given me. Okay. Okay, first give me an investigation check.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love your picture, Ralph. It's great.
My picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
your
picture
video
that it
doesn't always
cuts
show up.
to.
Sometimes it's a icon.
Oh, is it me just looking rad?
Yeah.
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 it's You,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
so
picture, like-
boss, aren't I? Yeah, 18.
18. Oh yeah, fantastic. You actually find a variety of fungi. You find some growing on trees. You find some just below. Capped mushrooms with purple specks. Flat ones that are sort of plain yellowy beige. Yeah, you think you've got about like 3 different types of mushrooms that you that you found. Go ahead and give me, and here's the fun one. Go ahead and give me a nature check, if you'd be so kind.
Okay, hold on. 15.
Okay, yeah, you have a general sort of idea of what 2 of these are. The one with the purple specks on it would have would have turned up for sure. You think that one is either a it's a potion that's got something to do with like changing your body in like a magical way.
Oh.
Isn't that what all mushrooms do?
But like a physical transformation. So you know it'll either make you grow larger or make you smaller.
Alice
When you-
in Wonderland is
Yeah.
It's an Alice in Wonderland.
nice.
So that's the
Mushroom.
purple mushroom, yeah?
Yeah. The flat sort of beige one, you think is probably got the effects of like climbing. So like allow you to stick to walls and things, stick to the sides of trees.
Excellent.
And then the third one is a complete mystery.
What color is it?
The third one is I'm gonna say it's like sort of bright orange mushroom with yellow speckles.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
I don't know.
Bright orange with yellow.
I
Just
will
add-
check them out later on.
Out of curiosity, does Gwen recognize these from her home?
Ooh, I mean the purple one for sure. Yeah, that one's one of those like you can roll the dice, but it's completely random as to what it's actually gonna do. But these other ones, no, not so much. And the orange one, actually, go ahead and give me a history check if you'd be so kind.
History check.
History.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Come on,
History.
Gwen.
Yeah, 'cause I'm proficient in history. What? Oh, yeah, I know why I chose that. Oh, that is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is very good. You think you recognize the description of it has turned up before. Thorgrove is made up of sort of the main continent. I'll find the
And the part that like the island
this
part
sort
that's
of
separate
island
from the mainland.
part. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But just for everybody else's sake, I will show what I mean. Yeah, so on this map that I've drawn, Thorgrove is this green country over here that's got part on the mainland and part on this massive island. You guys are sort of in the middle of this country here. Yeah, right in the middle of the world. Yes, so that sort of separate island over there is not a place that people, except for like the highest ranking people, like Queen and immediate advisors and people, go to. There's sort of an information shutdown, whatever that's called, on any information coming in and out of that area of the country. But there are sort of things you know about it, the dreaming becomes the strongest over there, and some of the plant life that you've read about, being sort of the closest to the dreaming, is like one of these mushrooms, one of these orange mushrooms. So that's kind of fun.
Out of curiosity, would my mom have been on the island ever? She's gone there?
It's likely that your mother has been on that island.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't tell me anything about it. Cool, thank you.
No worries.
I just was curious.
Gnurgle's gonna go to Gwen and say, are you familiar with this particular toadstool, Gwendolyn?
May I roll a nature check, please?
Which one are you? Yeah, go ahead. Roll. Which one are you showing her, Gnurgle?
The orange one. The orange one.
Yeah.
I'm not proficient in nature as a ranger. That's 15.
Yeah, from what you
And
remember...
when I put the dice down, it was a natural 20, but...
If only that counted.
I know.
Yeah, from what you remember reading, you just know that something bigger than climbing walls will happen if you take it.
Yeah. That's thank you. That guy, I would, unless you want to go in for a wild ride, I would maybe investigate a bit more. I've not seen it, but yeah, there's some crazy shit in there.
Nurgle's eyes light up, and he's holding it in front of his face, very interesting. I look forward to trying this one all alone, and just stuffs it into his cloak, and then scuffles along.
Number one rule.
I take all the mushrooms and silently eat them.
All of them?
I don't. No, I don't want to have to sit out this one.
No, I promise you won't. No matter what, you will not have to sit anything out if you eat any of these things.
Right.
So don't be afraid to make choices because you're afraid of sitting out. That was sort of
intoxicants that will lead me to just not.
These are drugs, but they're not drugging. Nobody's drugging
you. Which somebody would have told Thatcher that in the 80s and 90s. Would have made a bit more sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, I digress.
The second Thatcher comment we've had today, actually.
These are drugs, Thatcher. They're not drugging people. Anyway.
Anyway, do you think Thatcher stole all the Blink Dog puppies?
Oh, she would.
She completely has. She
I don't know if this is making it in the episode.
And sold them to a foreign power.
Okay. I'd imagine Blink Dog, you could wear Blink Dog skin and you could get some of the powers, maybe. That'd be interesting.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, maybe these puppies have been nicked because they're to be poached by the men with the iron masks and have their fur sold off. Sorry, I'm never mind.
It's just his face.
This is
I'm
fun
a D&D
to
conspiracy theorist.
I will chime in, and Gwen will say this, and Josh has heard me theorize this. I noticed in the bar last night there were a couple of people. They didn't look fully Grendian. I think Glog said that they were from the east, right by the Arahanian border. I mean, Arahan's known for being a slaving nation. I wouldn't my first thought when I got here, and what this all sounds like is people are poaching these puppies to traffic for whatever purpose. And I'm not going to put it past a country that uses slave labor not to pop on into the local dreaming infiltrated spot to snag a couple of puppies with teleportation magic.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get. What she said.
I could say right now that Gnurgle is fully vegan and he thinks that's it. And
Gnurgle's vegan.
And yeah, like that's gross.
I'm eating a ham sandwich while you say this.
You brought a ham sandwich out into the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a bigot. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to snatch a ham sandwich out of your hand and throw it into the woods. I mean, you make your own choices. That's up to you. Just like I think people poaching animals is a bit grim.
Yeah, it is a bit grim.
I won't stand for that. I won't stand for.
Okay, so we're in the woods.
That's correct.
Found some mushrooms.
You have.
The blink dogs have led us into the woods.
Yes.
Are the blink dogs still with us? Like, are they like waiting around being like, guys, what are you doing? Stop staring at the mushrooms. Can we continue with this?
That's exactly what's happening.
Awesome. Because we just went on a massive tangent over some mushrooms, which is great, and it's not the first time that it's happened. Probably.
Just let it happen.
Just
let it happen.
Overtake you.
Let the fun happen.
So should we progress?
Going? Yeah.
One will kind of
says the
say
guy
sorry
that
to
spent all
them.
of his money just so he could dress up like Liberace.
I'm glad you're starting to learn. Starting to work it out. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay, let's follow the blink dogs.
Incredible. You guys follow the blink dogs. You get further into the woods after having stopped to pick several mushrooms. And in this like weird trick of the forest, you see there's like an opening area coming up that the dogs are sort of leading you towards. And there's definitely nobody there. But then by the time you make it past the next couple of trees and the last of the foliage is out of the way, there's somebody on the opposite end holding a short bow, wearing sort of medieval camo, basically.
Classy.
He stands about 6.5 feet tall, light gray skin with these tattoos. Doesn't look as gianty as Glog, but doesn't look fully human either. And the dogs are like fully just like wagging their tails and sort of standing off to the side, like between the two of you, just making sure that you guys are friendly with each other. And he's got an arrow knocked, but he hasn't like drawn the bow or anything. And he just goes, "Okay, hello there."
Hello?
Hi.
Hi,
Are you Oren?
that's me. Who are you guys?
We're the reserve list. Duh.
Reserve list for what?
We're here to play a gig, but
Uh,
also help find the blink dog puppies and your mom. We're friends.
Okay. I assume you guys are a band from the fact that you're saying you want to do a gig. And he sort of like,
Yeah.
sort of relaxes a little bit and goes, "Okay. Did you just make it to town in the last few days?"
Mhm.
Explains why I didn't see you come in. Seems like you guys know a lot, and you're friendly with the Blink Dogs, and that is good enough for me at the moment. I could do with the help. I've been trying to find my mum for a while now. You saying the Blink Dog pups are gone as well?
We have a feeling that if we finding your mother will lead us to the Blink Dog puppies.
That sounds reasonable to me. Either or is good.
Yeah.
Both are noble deeds.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we found the puppies. What about your mom?
You deal with that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all right.
I've had such good luck finding my mum so far. I'm thinking if I can find some pups, that'll like make my track record feel better. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be a good trade-off, you know.
Well, to start anyway. Who's the leader?
Well, I'm the manager of the band, but I don't think I'm a leader of this particular little journey that we're going on.
Awesome. Interesting. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm the leader.
I mean, look at him.
It's
a pure charm, charisma.
Okay, so
I'm gonna roll insight.
I feel that I want to kind of suss out, because are we making the assumption that who is this person?
This is the son of the missing mayor and the innkeep Glog. So his name is Orin. He is a half human, half Goliath ranger.
Interesting. He lives in the forest?
No, he lives in town, but he has been known to like go into the woods for a few days at a time. And when he found out his mom was missing, he's been like consistently out in the woods. He's been sleeping out there as well.
And we've just found him on the lookout.
Yeah, he's ostensibly been looking for his mom.
Can I suss this fella out?
Absolutely.
And see what's up with him.
Give me an insight check.
As a precaution, of course.
Of course.
Insight check.
Yes.
There's a perception one as well, isn't there?
There is, but perception's more like the physical things you can see, and insight's more like reading.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, let's do some insight on this fella.
Indeed.
Sweet. Let it be good. Please let it be good. I want it to be really good. Oh, 19 plus 1, 20.
Amazing.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And with your stats, you continue to pull this off. Like, it's amazing. Your rolls have been so good. Yeah, absolutely. You get a feel for this guy. He's very trusting in that, like, sort of small town way where nobody's ever, like, proven that he shouldn't be trusting, if that makes sense. So, yeah, he's fully able to... He's not a suspicious person by nature. He seems genuine enough, but his easy acceptance of you is just like, yeah, these guys must be who they say they are, and they're friends with these dogs, so let's do it. He seems
genuine.
Yeah, he seems
sweet
genuine.
Summer child.
Yeah, like somebody who's technically an adult but still hasn't like learned to be hard in life.
Yeah. Okay. So my 19-year-old self.
Yeah.
If you're done, Julien, I'm going to have a chat with Orin a second.
Go for it.
If that's all right.
Yeah.
So Gnurgle sort of, scuttles up to Orin and says, excuse me, I'm assuming you are Orin. We have literally just come from the town. As you can see, we have the Blink Dogs with us right now. We have a couple of theories that we've come to. We believe that the Blink Dog pups are being used for trafficking out and being bought and sold as trade, and we have come across some very mysterious men wearing metal masks. Do you know anything about this at all?
The theory about poaching the Blink Dogs makes a lot of sense to me. They're highly intelligent and also can teleport, so people wanting to get their hands on them makes sense in an evil sort of way. I haven't seen anybody in an iron mask, which makes me think either they're not set up in the woods, because I've been pretty much scouring the woods this entire time, or they're better at hiding than I am at scouting, and I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but that would be a feat. We'd be dealing with some pretty specialist people if that were the case.
Yes.
How many of them do you think there are?
3.
Isabyn, how many
Miranda.
did you see?
I think there were 3. There was one main one, and he had 2 people with him.
Okay. Yeah, if they were set up in the woods, there's no way that between the Blink Dogs and myself we wouldn't have found them by now. I'm just trying to think. There might be a place not in town, but near enough to the woods that they could be stealing Blink Dogs that we could try going to. There's an old lumber mill, sort of where the town started out. It was one of those things where the populace thought that they could use this forest for logging before all of the Fae stuff started happening, and very quickly became clear it's like, this is maybe not a good idea, and we're all going to be cursed if we continue to do this. So we relocated and started doing other things for business. But that logging facility, I think, is still there.
Should we check out the logging place?
Can you check
Yes.
out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I can take you there. It's not that even that far away.
Orin, I must say that I am awfully sad to hear about your mother missing. I hope that we can find her. And just a quick word, don't listen to the pirate, he's not the leader.
He doesn't say anything, but
Are you using your character to talk to me?
That's the great thing about D&D is there's the story and then there's the meta level. He doesn't say anything, but before pulling entirely away from you, he gives you a wink. And he says, thank you. Thanks for your condolences about my mother. It's obviously really important to me, but to everybody that we get her back. So I appreciate the backup.
These men must be very serious types. Your father is a giant of a man, and they seem to have him quite scared. They even drugged the pirate. Not that I think that it would take very much to send him to sleep, but he seemed to have bent to their will.
My father did what?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I just give him exposition about what happened without
Great.
role-playing too much.
Julien, with your previous insight, you can tell Orin goes from this like this is shocking for him, and there's this like blankness of like processing what he's just heard.
Right.
And then everyone just sees his brow darken, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill him when we get back. I'm gonna save my mom, and then I'm gonna kill him.
Nice. Cool.
I'd like to watch that. Click, 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 click.
Can you imagine this on Jeremy Kyle with be jokes?
Gwen's just gonna say to Isabyn, we're gonna be really popular here, aren't we? We get the Keep and Mayor's son to commit patricide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to keep we'll keep a check on that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
He's a fellow ranger, isn't he?
Pardon?
He's a ranger as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe you can try and bond with him over that.
Yeah.
Over wanting to kill your
Gotcha.
father. That's an interesting topic for Gwen.
Yeah.
That's complicated, Joshua.
Oops, I have
Yeah.
yet things to.
Oh no.
In any case, he sort of darkens and trudges off back through the woods, and you can see with him leading you, it definitely takes a lot longer to get anywhere than when you were just following the blink dogs. It's like him needing to like really take into account the woods and things.
It just, I don't know if this is applicable here, but I ignore difficult terrain and it doesn't slow our group's travel. And the group can't be lost except by magical means. So this is magical-esque. It's a magic-y effect. But if that makes a difference, I'm just letting you know, because I don't know how much, because it's a revised ranger, and I don't know how everything's new in that to me.
It's new
It's
to
all
me
new,
as
but
well.
that one especially. Yeah.
It's new to me as well. But
So
it's
if that makes a
curious.
difference, it's out there.
Incredible. I'll just take it into account the fact that you and Orin are both rangers and doing this. With a second pair of eyes, you guys speed up, and he's like, oh, it's, he's sort of in himself, but he definitely just sort of like nods to you and goes, you know your stuff.
It reminds me of home.
Well, maybe you can tell me about it sometime. And yeah, not terribly long afterwards, you get out of the woods, a little ways, trek to the east, and you can see this sort of run-down wooden logging facility. Sort of vines and moss have grown up over the buildings, and sort of piles of logs that were already cut and abandoned ended up have been almost entirely reclaimed by the earth. I need Gnurgle, I need Isabyn, and Tombar to make perception checks, if you'd be so kind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a 20, isn't it?
That's a d20, and then you add your perception.
Let's do this.
I rolled 16. BCW.
16, very nice.
I rolled 6.
6.
Because you know.
Perception's in the skills one, isn't it?
It is.
So I had a 9 and 2, so 11.
11. Very cool. You guys approaching it, don't see any activity. You don't see any sign anybody's been in here. But Gnurgle, you are an illusion wizard, and you are particularly adept at looking for inconsistencies, not trusting your eyes, as it were. You're looking at this place, and you get pretty close. You notice just on the edges of what you're seeing, there is just a slight chink, just a slight thing where the edges of a wooden pole just don't quite line up with themselves. It's very subtle, but it's there for sure.
Excellent. I'll relay the information to everybody about what I'm observing, and I think this could be an illusion. Yeah, I would like to use my mage hand. How far are we away at the moment, BTW?
You guys can approach. You can approach as close as you like to this place. You be like, I don't know. You can come closer if you'd like, but like, say that you get to like 80 feet, 70 feet away from this place. There's sort of like a main cabin and a building. Sorry, and that's kind of all that's left.
I would like to scuttle up to the cabin, preferably sneaky, if I can. Try and keep myself low, and once I get within 30 feet, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and try and get it to touch that chink in what would soon be an illusion.
100%.
Please.
If you could be so kind as to give me the stealth roll.
This is where it's going to be a bit rubbish.
Julien looks how I feel.
8.
Also, that looks cozy as hell.
I'm gonna join you. Sorry, what was that?
It's the best thing about
it was an 8.
Okay. Cool. So you kind of go to where you can see this sort of thing, this effect. And when you get closer, you can see the distortion more clearly. But there's a point where you can actually step beyond this illusion. It looks like sort of a curtain or veil of magic has been placed over this cabin and some of the open area beyond.
Excellent. Again, I relay everything as long as everybody's with me, I relay that information back.
If you guys have gone with him and want to be stealthy, you can make stealth checks if you would like.
I would have hung back.
Okay.
Just myself.
I think Isabyn would have hung back as well for now. She's a little wary at the moment. She's had a little bit of a fright the night before, so she's just slightly wary.
Mm-hmm. I want to check it out. I want to go right in.
You want to go with Gnurgle? Go ahead and give me a stealth check if you'd be so kind.
I want to go with Gnurgle.
Do it.
Give him some company.
Thank you.
Alright, let's do this. Stealth check. Here we go. I got 21.
21.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. So yes, Orin and Tombar are going with you, Gnurgle, and they each got very high stealth checks. And then Isabyn, just Isabyn and Gwen who are staying back with the Blink Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the Blink Dogs are.
They're with you guys.
Are they with us?
You guys. They've sniffed the air, and they don't smell anything. Doesn't seem like. They haven't smelled anything or anything. So yeah, you guys are sort of at this veil. Would you like to step through?
Yeah, boy. Let's waltz on in.
Amazing. You guys go through the veil. On the other side, you can see that there was there's a campfire going outside of this cabin. There are lights flickering in the cabin as well. You can see.
Is there a disco going on?
Sorry?
Is there a disco going
There's
on?
no disco going on.
Oh.
But the flickering of the lights does, like, ooh, yes, interesting. If Tombar starts sing, that's awesome. I will give you advantage on your next performance check if you do that. To finish setting the scene, a little, like, in the open ground away from the fire, a staff with a simple sort of iron head to it has been planted in the ground. Gnurgle, you'd bet anything that that's where the magic is coming from that's hiding this place. Standing by the fire is a man in an iron mask and dark clothing, with a spear in his hand. And yeah, that's what you guys can immediately see when you come in, and he's looking straight at you as you come through, like he.
Should we offer him some of the mushrooms? Let's get him high and then question him. No.
Greetings.
So does he know that we're there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So I recognize you, boy, but the others must be. Who are you all?
I am Gnurgle, Shroombeard, and you and your friends were very rude to one of my friends. He says sort of very like. And I also found out that you are in the business of taking blink dog puppies, which Gnurgle doesn't find very nice at all.
Because he's vegan.
Because I'm vegan as hell.
As you
Vegan as
say, stealing blink dog puppies and vegan as hell. You hear from somewhere further into sort of this big log cabin. You hear little high-pitched yelps.
No.
Can Isabyn and I hear any of what's going on?
You can hear none of what's going on. So it looks like they have just sort of stepped forward and completely disappeared.
I'm thinking let's tie this guy up and keep him as prisoner.
Josh, I would like to cast a magic, please.
You're so ready. Been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, 100%. If you're gonna cast magic, go ahead and roll me initiative. Everybody roll me initiative and be so kind, and we'll go through.
Initiative.
Initiative.
Is that a D20?
Is a D20 and add your dexterity modifier to what you get.
Boom.
I get advantage on my initiative rolls, but I don't know what's happening right now, so I don't know if I would have that.
You may maintain your initiative roll because I'm gonna say you're on high alert anyway. So that is
Thank you.
not at all.
It's a 19.
Forgive me. One more roll, and I will be good to go.
Always great when the DM says one more roll when you're in combat. I just have to roll for another mysterious entity that you're not aware of.
Indeed, that was actually for the blink dogs that I had to roll there. But
oh, never mind. I'm happy. If you kill any of the blink dogs, Josh, I am breaking travel restrictions to come and take you out Just so you know.
So, Gnurgle, you raise your hands to start casting some magic. Tombar, it's actually you first. You see that you've just said, let's tie this guy up and keep him as our prisoner.
Yeah.
And it is your turn to act first. So the way that combat works in Dungeons and Dragons is everybody gets a turn, and we go in turn order through, and then come back to the top. During your turn, you can move up to 30 feet in total. You can take an action, which is usually used to attack, for example.
Okay.
And there's a bonus action. Both you and Miranda can use your bonus action to do one of three things, which is from your cunning action. Which is dash, which means you can move, instead of 30 feet, you can move an additional 30 feet on top of that. So 60 in total. Disengage, which is if you're close to somebody and you don't want them to attack you when you move away from them, you can disengage. And hide. And hide is a useful one because it makes it so that they don't know where you are, and then you can jump out from hiding and do a lot of extra damage when you stab somebody.
Sweet.
This is where your sneak attack will come in. So if you hide and you successfully hide, if someone can't see you, you get advantage. So roll twice, take the higher. And if, as rogues, if you ever have advantage on an attack and it hits, once per turn, you can deal extra sneak attack damage. So that should be, I think, in your features. Second level, it is a 1d6 still. Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll go up to 2d6 next level.
Very cool indeed. So, we'll address questions as they come up. Don't be afraid to ask. But let's start going through. So, Tombar, yours is the first turn in this combat. You have up to 30 feet of movement. You have your bonus action, and you have an action. He's about 30 feet from you at this point.
Is there a chance of me dying in this confrontation? Sorry, I
Yes.
interrupted. So I could die
Yes.
and then just leave the game completely.
This is a low stakes in terms of life and death game. But sometimes the dice play cruel jokes on us. And I will tell you right now, there are people around who can heal. There's all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of narrative reason for you to not die.
Yeah.
All right.
But in theory, I'm not going to kill you in this combat, is what I'm saying. But in theory, if you do die during combat in D&D, either somebody brings you back, because resurrection's a thing, or you would make a new character.
All right. Oh, I really like Tombar. I don't want this.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill Tombar. Don't worry.
Although I think if we get our money back, we might have enough for a resurrection. It's a stupid amount of money, a full resurrection, but we might actually have enough for it.
Cool.
It's not something I ever
So
thought
I
would
want
happen.
to. I want to. So can I? Who attacks first? Is it me or them?
It's you, because you rolled a higher initiative than they do. So in terms of the turn order, you go first.
Okay, cool. So, I draw my rapier. I'm like, come at me, bro. And then he's like, I'm waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I want to. Can I just go right in for an attack?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, he's got a spear.
He does have a spear.
So I have a better advantage if I get in close because the spear's a long-range weapon.
It looks like he's got the versatility with this thing to hit somebody at 10 feet from him or at 5 feet from him.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about 2 feet from him?
He'll still be able to hit you, but you can get your attack in if you if you go right up to him. You can also take this turn to hide and set up something for next turn, if you're interested in doing that.
Yeah, I'll hide. I feel like you phrased that sentence to convince me that was the good thing to do.
Just one option of many. So
No, I want. Wait, can I? I want to give an attack first, actually.
All right. If you go up, just because of how far away he is, this will be the turn. It'll be moving forward and attacking will be what you do. That makes sense?
Okay, so I move
Isn't he
forward
30
and
feet
attack.
away?
Yeah.
So 30 feet of movement, attack action, and then you could take a hide bonus action.
I'm saying.
Although I guess if you're that
he's-
close, you can't move anymore. Can run.
That's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
and yeah, so you can fully move up to him. He's sort of near this campfire. The firelight glows on this iron mask, this sort of non-face. But you go right up close to him and attack with your rapier. If you could give me an attack roll, so this would be a d20 plus 3 to see if you hit.
Okay. What the is up with this dice generator? Oh, I don't. Literally, all it does is give me 19 or 6, and the results aren't good. So it's a 6
I
plus.
see.
I don't. This is the dice generator that you sent on Facebook.
Oh, are you blaming me now?
Yeah, it's rigged.
For the
That's
RNG
rigged.
program.
Telling you it's a conspiracy.
Why would he
Mr.
send you
I'll
something
let
that's
you
rigged that
die.
also gives you really good rolls?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, number 6, and what's my
And then you add
modifier?
3.
We use dexterity.
So you,
3.
So yeah, you add 3 to an attack with your rapier. So a
I
9.
got 9.
You getting close and flash forward your rapier with great pizzazz. But with the amount of flair and flourish that you use, you're able to bring the butt of the spear up and knock the tip of your blade aside so that it does not find purchase. That is your turn. You see this guy in front of you knocks your blade aside, says, "Oh, I suppose we're fully just not negotiating. All right." And a whistle comes from like inside his mask. It sort of like reverberates from like within this iron. You see 2 figures appear from like up top on this logging cabin, sort of like 40 feet up, with bows drawn. And they are each going to let loose a shaft, one at Gnurgle and one at Orin.
Let that shaft loose.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, please consider giving us a like, giving us a comment, subscribing, doing all of the fiddly little YouTube bits, as well as hitting us up on social media. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, we've got all these things. We would love to discuss these ongoing stories with you, and just have a conversation, be part of the community. We would love that. Do it, please, or not. Be your own person, but do what I say.